I'm not from a business part, so my background is an artist. So what I want to tell you is with more how with emotions and how with my stories I came across the idea to help coral reefs. So since a young age, I'm a scuba diver, and it has been part of my life since I'm 8 years old. And I didn't know how important it was, the chance to see underwater and to be part of this other world that we cannot really interact with when we are on the surface. And during my studies, I developed a strong interest in bringing awareness towards water ecologies and convey emotions around that. And a couple of years after I finished my studies, I had the chance to work with scientists and work very closely with them to develop structures that I could put underwater and that could serve as well as a substrate for corals to grow upon. And from that idea, it took about 5 years to come to what we have now founded with a marine biologist, an organization called Reefs, that is aiming at rebuilding endangered coral reefs around the world. Maybe for a quick context, if you are not, if you don't really know what corals are or why they are important for our planet, corals are animals that are living in symbiosis with an algae underwater. And unfortunately, this relationship between this animal and this algae is very fragile. And when you have an issue like climate change happening, where the water is getting more acid or more warm, this ruptures the relationship between this algae and this animal, which makes the coral left without this algae, so without food, and starts to starve, then will bleach. So this is why we call coral bleaching. So the color is going out, so it's left to be completely bare and white. And if that relationship isn't being balanced and cannot go back together, then the coral is left to die. Coral reefs, they are home to 25% of all marine organisms in the oceans. So you have to understand, if that structure that is home for many, many species and organisms are left to die and get to be destroyed, then there is a lack of fish. There is a lack of protection for the coast, which leaves the coast to be eroded by the waves. And it provides also less food for people relying on those coral reefs. So this is one part of the facts. Other facts are the coral are also a reason why we get oxygen within the water. And it's a little bit like forest that we have on our Earth, but for underwater. So I witnessed as a scuba diver the loss of coral reefs, because I was working in different places in the world. And after a couple of years, I could see suddenly the beautiful, colorful coral sponges and fish that were living at some spot, like left without colors, without structures, and with no life. And that moved me very deeply, and I decided to do something about it. And luckily, I found some ways to connect with people that wanted to do the same thing that I do. So either bring awareness towards it, finding solutions against it. And those people are very different. So you can find this kind of collaboration within science mostly, but you can also find it in a community that are willing to do something also directly locally, and architects, engineers, so everyone. And that's what I also want to talk about tonight, is like, it's a very big challenge to, when you have an idea and you don't really know how to do it, to find people that are supporting your cause and to surround yourself with people that are not from the same field as you, because you get stronger together. And this is something, if you want to have a question after for that, I will be really happy to answer them, because I think interdisciplinary teams are a big strength in combating climate change issues and stuff like that. So maybe I can, if you can see behind me, I have a prototype of a brick that I developed while I was doing a fellowship at the ETH in Zurich. So basically, I was interested in finding quick solutions that are easily adaptable with a new technology. I've been working for the last couple of years about materiality, because this is my strength. I work with clay, and I discovered that clay is a very adaptive material for underwater. It's ecological, it's durable, and it presents great aspects. I don't want to bore you with that, but it's great aspect for marine organisms. And turns out if you are a bit interested in the material itself, you can find out that you can transform it in a way that you can print it. And that printing thing is how you get to put it abroad everywhere in the world, because this is so high tech right now. Everyone wants to print things. So basically, because we are all connected, you can create a file, send that file to other people, and they can download it and print themselves if they have the right 3D printer. And if you think like that, you can then go open source. You can help people to implement their own local reefs to help restore damaged coral reefs. And that's what I'm aiming to do with this marine biologics school, Ulrike Freund, with Reefs, our organization. And so basically, yes, so we have this prototype that is working like Legos. You can transport it quite easily, and depending on how the location you are, you can install it in various shapes. It can bring also awareness with tourism. That can learn also about how to respect coral reefs and how to respect the environment of the water and other places like that. And I don't know how much time I have left, because I could talk for.
I think you just got about 1 minute left, so maybe you could talk also a bit about your fundraising and how you got people on board.
Yes. So the thing is, like, we decided last year with this struggling year of Corona to found our organization, and we had a lack of money, and we were trying to gather money with different opportunities, and we found out that crowdfunding could be a solution to implement our first prototype. Because we had all the partners, we have the partners all around the world that are willing to work with us, but they also don't have money, or they cannot provide us support with financially. So we decided to talk about it via a platform called We Make It, and we were asking for quite a lot of money, and we succeeded it. So with that money, we can invest it in the production, in the shipping, in the implementation as well with local people, and to develop new designs as well. We have tons of other projects right now which are not directly linked to that crowdfunding, but yes, we are going to develop new designs, new technologies, and working with new partners as well.